Eric, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to a Taste of AZ podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
I'm really excited. So cheers to you guys. I've got this beautiful, man, this thing is beyond beautiful. So real quick, what are you drinking? What am I drinking?
So you have the Love Potion. The Love Potion is probably our number one margarita. As far as that goes,
Wow.
it's the most popular, like out of all of them.
Yeah.
Joe at the front is always mentioning it's an Aphrodite. I can't even say the word.
You feel uncomfortable saying it?
Yeah,
I do.
I really do, because he says it so much. He's like, you got to have this. The girl's like, okay, I will have it, no problem. And we sell a bunch of those.
Dude, well,
Yeah.
I can see why. Well, first of all, Joe, right?
Yep, Joe.
Joe's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool guy. He knows his stuff. And immediately, you asked you didn't ask if I wanted a drink.
Yeah.
You said you want margaritas.
Absolutely.
Right? That's a way, because I see
the only way to start.
You probably do other things, right?
Yep.
But the margaritas are your.
It's a go-to.
You know what you're doing.
It's where we start.
And I know why. It's your name, Eric.
Yeah.
We share the name, and I got to get a picture of this before I drink the whole thing. So.
Absolutely.
So my business partner, Luke, huge fan of you guys, and he, him and Andrea had set this up, and he couldn't make it. He was really
Right.
bummed about it. So we have to enjoy this for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Eric, what is your last name?
Jurisin.
Jurisin. And are you originally from Arizona?
I am.
Okay.
Born and raised.
This area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So doing what? Like, what was growing up for you like?
Growing up for me was, going to school, and then after school it was sitting at the cooler eating some mac and cheese and just saying hello to my mom as she's like, "Get out of my way, I gotta
Yeah.
cook." Yeah, she's like, "Don't get in my way."
Yeah.
Yep. And the same deal with my dad.
To cook meaning like cook dinner for the
cook
family?
cook dinner for the kitchen for customers.
Oh,
We
gotcha.
didn't really have it wasn't babysitting, and it wasn't even much as babysitting. I could have went home, I could have watched myself.
Yeah.
But the thing is coming to the kitchen, getting to help out. Whether it was dropping some fries
Yeah.
or getting to cut some onions, it was always fun.
Yeah. So you've been in this for forever.
My whole life.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And how old is in the Haunted Hamburger is the original
The original. That's the OG right there.
and open how long ago?
28 years now.
So 6 years before you were even around.
Exactly.
Dang, man. So you
Yep.
jumped into.
We share the same birthday though.
Yeah.
Both May 3rd.
No shit.
Yep. May
That's
3rd.
awesome,
Yep.
man.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. I share
Yeah.
a birthday with my younger daughter. So
Yeah.
kind of the same thing, right?
Exactly. Both special.
Yeah,
Both meaningful.
exactly. So let's go back a little bit to your parents then.
Of course.
Are they from Arizona?
No, they're not from Arizona. My mom was, Providence, Rhode Island, and England. England, like they call New England style, cooking is what she's basically
Okay.
based off of. My dad was actually originally from Ohio, then moved to Lake Havasu, then to Phoenix, Arizona. And I think,
Ohio.
yeah,
That's where I'm
Ohio. Really?
Yeah. We're at in Ohio.
Not Cleveland. He was right on Lake Erie. So he's right off of Lake Erie. I forget the town though.
Wow,
It was
that's
yeah.
pretty close to me. I mean, Lake
Yeah.
Erie's pretty big, but I grew up around Youngstown, Ohio.
Absolutely.
Which is, dude, that's crazy,
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Yes, man, we need to keep drinking these things.
Absolutely.
So go ahead. So it was Ohio, and then you said
Yep.
somewhere, and then Phoenix.
Ohio, then Lake Havasu, then Phoenix.
Okay.
For my mom, it was moving all the way out here. They just went all the way from New England. Yeah. So I keep saying
I know what you know. I know
yeah,
what
you know what I
like
mean.
The New England area.
Yeah, the New England area, Boston,
Because it's
Rhode
all so
Island.
small, right?
Exactly.
They're all cities anyways,
Yeah.
right? The city of Rhode Island. And
Yep.
stuff like
Yep.
that.
And she grew
So-
up the same way. She grew up,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, slicing meat at a deli, making pasta salad, not going to school. Getting pulled out of school saying, "Hey, come help at the deli. It's busy. It's gonna
family
be
deli.
Family deli.
Okay, okay.
For lunch rush and everything." Yeah,
Yeah.
her father actually had an unbelievable deli, did these big, beautiful trays, unbelievable sandwiches, you name
Man.
it. Yeah. Yep.
I knew this was going to be a good one. I didn't know it was going to be this good already, dude. 4 minutes in, come on. So that was your mom's side?
Yes.
What about your dad's side? Same thing, food? Like food family?
My dad, we were driving back the other day from Jerome, and he tells me, he's like, really how I got started in this business. Everyone says KFC manager. He started here, started there. But he just said, he's like, one day some guy kind of offered me this restaurant, and I just took it.
Yeah.
He's like, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about this. He's like, we could be restaurant owners. So
Yeah.
he called his best friend Todd. He got this offer from a guy, and it was actually at a restaurant in a hotel,
Okay.
down in Phoenix. And I don't know the Crossroads or anything.
Yeah.
But the guy kind of offered him and said, hey, he's like, hey, man, if you want this, if you want to be in this and you want to do this,
Yeah.
you can start this. You and my dad's like, yeah, I know about restaurants. We'll give this a shot. And that's kind of how ended it up. And I think it went for a good while, and then, something happened to it. But yeah, but that's kind of how we started, But both fast food, cooking. My mom, deli manager, deli supervisor, the head of Bashes, in that department. But yeah,
not this,
not
the Clinkscale,
not the Clinkscale, man. This is way down the road. Yeah.
So how did the Haunted Hamburger come into play? Like, how did your family end up here? So, they opened a spot in Phoenix, and then how do we end up in this legendary place?
So they actually I think to them it was coming up from Phoenix and just doing a little road trip through Jerome. And they came through Jerome and they said, you know what? They kind of got there, they're beautiful, and they're like, let's screw it,
Yeah.
They look at this, they saw this, restaurant side of the hill. And I can't remember. I think it was the Palace back then.
Okay.
But they kind of saw it as, hey, we could fix this up. This could be great. This is everything. And, they brought it up, and, my mom wanted to fix up the inside, wanted to do this. And my dad's like, no. You got to do a patio. He's like, there's nothing. You got to do a patio. That's where we start. That's where we finish. That's where this restaurant makes money.
I like that.
And that's how that ended up coming to be. But I think they're just both sick of working for people. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They had a restaurant, lost the restaurant, so you go back to working for someone. I think they're like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And it was a very hard beginning. I mean, he worked. He was telling me the other day, 11 years of 6 doubles.
That's that's reassuring to hear,
right?
When you really are following something that you love, right? Because
absolutely
3, 4, 5 years into it, you're kind of okay with things not being like, but when you get 6 years, 7 years, like what the come on, and then you get the experienced person who'll say you're good, good, you're on the right path, and that's really cool.
Absolutely.
That's really cool to hear. So I mean, the history of this town. I always have the goal to make a journey up this way, right? Do like a some sort of
for sure
content creation around here. But then I'm like, I don't know if I can spend the night, man. That's a scary place.
Not
scary place, but it's legendarily haunted. This town.
One of the hotels is an asylum. You know what I mean? It's an actual asylum. Like,
dude, it's incredible. And when you get up here, it's different. It's a different feeling.
Absolutely.
So. Why? Like, what was it like when they started? Like,
nothing.
have they? I mean, not like nothing.
Nothing.
Like just houses, like just residentials.
Just houses. I want to say like obviously Paul and Jerry's was open. That was a thing, and and everyone kept telling them like, you guys aren't gonna make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys are
gonna.
You are not gonna make it.
Just because. So they're just a bar, right? Like a bar and pub.
They're just a bar and everything. You know, and all the local stuff. You're not gonna make it. You're opening up a restaurant top of the hill on a dead road. Nothing's there. Good luck. You're not gonna make it. And they're like, I think we'll give it a shot. We have no problem proving people wrong. It's like, let's do this thing.
Heck yeah.
And that's where it started. It was a ghost town, and it really was a ghost town. There wasn't much, and then it started to come over time, but the Haunted Hamburger became a destination for Jerome.
Yeah.
From just having, and back in the day, it was a cookie, watermelon, burger, and a little bit of fries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think even on a paper plate is kind of how it started, and then it went from there. Giant cakes, giant cheesecake. My mom's like, got to catch their eye with something. So...
you know what? I'm a little embarrassed. I've never been there.
It's fine. It's okay.
They have cheese. You guys have cheesecake too? Dang, man. Like that's all my flavors. So I got to do it.
Absolutely.
Why? I don't know. So the town obviously is legendary, right?
Yes.
Do you know much of the history of because someone told me the other day that like it was one of the towns that was like a if there were PowerPoints back then, it would have been for,
it would have been. No,
what's it called?
It was amazing. It would have been in a slideshow. It would have been, it's a big part of history. It went from.
What am I thinking of? When they abolished, or they
like a biography or something?
No, they took away alcohol. What was it? Prohibition.
Oh, prohibition.
Like that was like on the slides of like people to say, hey, this is why we need prohibition. Like this is why we need to prohibit alcohol.
When you're mining all day and you get told that you're going to die before you're 30, what else are you going to do? You want to
for sure.
You want to party? You want to go hang out? You want to do drugs?
Go read
you want to drink?
Mm-hmm.
Go read a book. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not reading a book. I'm partying.
I'm partying and I'm drinking and I don't care. If I get arrested, I'm gonna die in a few years. It doesn't matter.
For sure. Being in jail would probably be a lot more restful.
It would be. They'd actually get you know what I mean? Than going 1,000 feet underneath the ground.
Yeah. So I couldn't imagine it. So where I grew up, there were in West Virginia were the coal mines.
Yeah.
And so you see those documentaries about that and you're like the unreal. Like I can't even like go into a bathroom with no windows, let alone crawling through a mine. So nothing really here. They open up the Haunted Hamburger, and how do things progress from there? Right, you come along 6 years later, right?
Yeah, 6 years later. But before that, it was the Haunted Hamburger, and then it became, maybe my mom and dad just didn't really want to work together. So then all of a sudden, the Jerome Brewery became a thing, and they said we're gonna make beer, do pizzas, and have sandwiches. You know what I mean?
Plus. Okay.
Yep. So it's like we did the Haunted Hamburger, and they decided let's go do another one. Then they opened up, the Jerome Palace. They're like, we're in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then they had 2 restaurants at that point. So now they have 2 restaurants. They said we have Haunted Hamburger figured out. We're gonna try this other one.
Yeah.
And then that one became a big thing. They did beer. It was a trial and error thing for sure with the beer. It was, I always get told, my dad will tell you, people are like, I like the beer there. It was pretty good. My dad would be like, it's the worst beer you ever had. It was a trial and error. You know what I mean? Like we stopped the Jerome Brewery because it was great pizzas, great wings, great this. Not so good beer.
Sure. Well, what a great thing though, right? Because
Absolutely.
you could just call it in and say, whatever, but
no, you got to redo it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any plans for a brewery up here? I'll always say this would be an awesome place for a brewery.
Yes and no. And I think sometimes we have grapes closed down right now.
Okay.
If you ask my dad, you ask my mom, hey, what are you guys doing with it? They'll tell you, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? They have ideas, but they won't tell me. They won't even tell me. I'm blood related.
You.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
son.
Yeah.
They don't care. Or do you guys need help with the menu? Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? We're not there yet. Don't. And I'm like, okay. So I think maybe eventually that something could come about grapes again, but for right now, we'll who knows?
Yeah. So, so you said that they didn't like working together?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, if they first started out, my mom was in the front of the house.
Sure.
My dad was in the back of the house cooking burgers. My mom dealt with a customer. She said, hell no. She's like, no. She's like, give me the apron.
Yeah.
You go down there. You have fun with this.
Yeah.
So that's when it came, like, all of a sudden, she was like, okay, cool. I'll cook up here all day and just enjoy this. My dad's like, all right, well, I'll go deal with the business stuff. I don't really even love cooking.
Sure. Yeah.
I started out doing it, but, he's an amazing breakfast cook. I've seen my dad cook some great meals, but he's really great in the front of the house, So then whenever the roles switched, I think that's when it clicked. And that's how the brewery came along. That's how, it clicked together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became like the next best thing.
I dig that because just because you can't work together doesn't mean you can't work together, right?
Exactly.
Figure things out, like move things out around a little bit.
Yep.
Like my
It'll
wife,
work better.
Yeah, for sure. So do you have siblings as
I
well?
do. I have a sister.
Okay. Is she in the business as well?
She was for a little while. I think eventually she'll come back to it. But for right now, she's actually a hairstylist. And a very well-known hairstylist, too, throughout Northern Arizona. She has a salon called Salon Social. So, and she still does help with all of my dad's, like, back-of-the-house things. So payroll, the playlist for the restaurants, bar list, all that. She loves cocktails, so she knows all about them.
Nice.
How to do it, a pretty glass, what's in, what's the new fad,
Playlist, you said?
Playlist.
That's a big deal.
She's big on it, and she's very good at it. Same deal with the cocktails. She goes all around to figure out, like, what can we find? What can we do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So does she, who develops them? Like, is it a team of people, or, like, who has the final say? Like, who's finally like, okay, this is what we're doing? Like, because it's not always a matter of, like, I'm taking charge, but more people want people to, like, all right, you decide. What are we doing? So who's usually the one that's like, all right, here's what we're putting on the menu?
So for as far as it goes for beverages, my dad actually does involve my sister. My dad has like kind of final say, but he involves my sister. He involves a couple of his great bartenders and a couple of his people to say, hey, let's come together and make some great stuff.
Yeah.
Because one person doing it, you'll come up with some good stuff.
Sure.
But you know what I mean? You get everyone on board together and they're like, we're in. This is going to be the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it happened. And then for food, it's usually me and my mom. Me and my mom come together. We get up, you know what I mean? We formulate these recipes.
Yeah.
We come up with these different flavors. She has 2 different styles. You know what I mean? She loves cooking her Italian food. She loves, like I said, Providence, Rhode Island. And I do agree. They have one of the best food scenes in the world.
Okay.
And then I'm over here all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love Asian style food.
Yeah.
I love your beautiful steakhouse, Southwestern style food.
Yeah.
I love, you name it, Italian food, Mexican food. And I'm like, so now what can we do to just put that in a mixing pot together? You know what I mean? I don't stick to I'm full fusion, 100%.
That's awesome.
French trained, but full fusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I hear people say that a lot. What exactly does French trained mean? Like, what is that? How does that affect your approach going into it?
Yeah. What really happens whenever you say whenever you go into like French trained, it's really like yes chef and shut the hell up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's really
sure.
it. It's like it's a brigade. They take cooking to the next level. Your butter sauces, your sauce is not broken.
Yeah.
Your vegetables are precisely cut.
So it's a system.
It's a system.
Yeah.
It's a brigade. It's like being in the army, except for you don't have a gun, you have a chef knife.
Yeah.
And it's the same deal. You'll get told you're a piece of shit 20 times before you eventually you're like, I think I'll get it right. You don't.
Well, you know what? That's interesting.
Yeah.
You bring that up, right? Because that's a sensitive subject these days,
is.
right? I mean, we go from creating celebrities out of somebody like Gordon Ramsay, who has
100%.
made his name by being an asshole.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's amazing at it.
yeah,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh man, this guy's you should know this. This guy's
Yep.
a jerk in the kitchen. I'm like, well, shit.
Absolutely.
90% of the chefs I talk, they're like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know, so that's interesting, right? Because I think, at least for myself, it kind of opens up my mind a little
Right.
bit, because when I think of French food, I don't even really know what I think.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
But when it's fusion with a French technique,
Yeah.
I get that, right? Like
Absolutely.
it's like about execution and consistency and
Yeah.
and all of that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, but where I mean, there's a range from, what do you have here? Like, what do we have at the Clinkscale?
At the
on the
Clinkscale,
menu?
so basically, the Clinkscale menu is hard to put on.
Okay.
It really started with, my dad was like, hey, you're French trained. Let's go back to French food. And then my mom's like, I still like Italian cuisine. And I'm like, yeah, but people still like comfort food.
Yeah.
And then I think somewhere in the middle, we just met. And then we also still have your Southwestern, favorites like elote and guacamole. But then we go right to mussels. You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
you have your big mussels, and then at night you do your chicken Milanese. So it's all over the place. But then we still have home style steaks and everything, dry aged steaks that we get in specially brought to us. That's your
Yeah.
comfort food.
Yeah.
At that point, that's like, okay, you have steak, mashed potatoes, or you have chicken Milanese, or I could get wild and try one of their other like kind of French items.
Yeah.
But
I dig it, man. I dig it. I look at it, and it's not like I don't know. It seems Arizona to me.
Yeah, it
seems
is.
very unique, but it
It
has
is.
a little bit. I mean, especially
For
with
sure.
the font, and we're in
Yeah.
Jerome and all that. So
absolutely. And if you're visiting, because it's a big tourist town, if you're visiting from
Yeah.
Wyoming, you're visiting from Florida, I want you to get a taste of what we're about. Not only as like chefs and as people, as as a state,
Sure.
like what we're about. Like this is what we have. We have chilies that are hot as can be.
Yeah.
We have really cool flavors. Our border is Mexico, so we use all these amazing avocados, these unbelievable tortillas. Like we get them all brought to us just because we're right here. So it's like you
Sure.
got to embrace that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you can't go away from. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Absolutely.
it is seafood based, but the ocean isn't right next to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever beautiful stuff we're getting in, it's coming to us. You know what I mean? It's it's like most of the stuff, whatever we can get fresh, we're getting fresh.
Yeah.
And whatever we can get cryovac and frozen sent to us right away, we're getting it.
Yeah.
But as far as it goes, the menu's all over the place.
yeah, I'm in, man.
Yeah.
I'm in for sure.
Absolutely.
So you've got the honey hamburger.
Yes.
At this point, you guys have the Clinkscale.
Yeah.
What are the other places that you guys currently have under the family? Because it's a family group, right? Yeah.
Right, absolutely. We also have Grapes is up the street. It hasn't been open in a
okay.
while, And then we also have Tavern Grill, Crema, Nick's, Bocce. He also has his hotel, his Tavern Hotel.
Okay.
And then I think I actually named them all. I think we got them all in that.
Yeah.
That should be all of them. I
Okay.
think there's 7 at this point.
And this is all within what
10-mile radius.
Yeah. And
You
this is
know,
where you guys live as well.
Yes.
And this,
yes.
Yeah.
I live right down there in Clarkdale, so I'm in
Okay.
between both, so it works out well.
Yeah.
It's the same distance either way.
So it seems, what a great idea is
Yeah.
to just open up different concepts. Like, I want to make pizza, so we'll go to
Yeah.
a pizza place, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are each of the places? Like, so
Right.
you've got the honey hamburger, which is
Burgers. That's
and-
burger Southwestern food to the mix. Like
Okay.
that right there is like we do burgers, we do ribs, we do chicken sandwiches, and then we have Philly cheesesteaks. Like that's like your straight up like comfort delicious food. You know what I mean? That's it.
And
you go-
cheesecake.
Exactly.
And
And
cheesecake.
cheesecake and big cakes.
Yeah.
A pound of cake. You can get it. Every slice is a pound. So just get ready to put on the pack of punch.
For sure.
And this place obviously is like your more French, Southwestern style cuisine, and your comfort food. And then you go down the hill, Nick's Italian Steak and Crab House is Italian food, seafood, New England style. That's where my mom really packs the punch with where she's about, what it is about.
where this is in.
This is in Old Town.
Old
Yeah,
Town.
down the hill to Old
Okay,
Town. Yeah.
gotcha.
That's where we have that. Cremo's brought in for brunch. Just
Yeah.
do a fun brunch for Cottonwood. We don't have a fun. We have breakfast.
Yeah.
You have you have your other places, but there's breakfast.
Sure.
But here it's brunch. Like let's have a mimosa and let's have, you know what I mean? Let's do some chorizo and avocado Benedict. Like let's
Yeah.
throw that together. Like that's what I want at 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about bocce?
Bocce is all
Yeah.
wood-fired pizza, Neapolitan pizza, and she's off. My mom went to Italy to train for that. She has all the certifications.
Nice.
She knows how to do it all. We make the dough, make the mozzarella, the beautiful sauces,
Yeah.
everything that goes on the pizza. It's just that place is nothing but great ingredients.
Yeah.
That place is put together by home-style, unbelievable ingredients brought in from all sorts of vendors. Like that place really gives you like that fresh, holy crap! Like this is right from Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an Old Town.
That's an
Continental.
Old Town. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I've heard. I mean, we've covered. I don't know. I'm really exposing myself in this episode, but like all the things in a magazine, we have writers and we have Luke that does a lot of like all the photos.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm not always there,
Yeah.
right? And I see, I'm like, oh, Cottonwood looks
Yeah.
cool. We
Yeah,
did a
Cottonwood
tour of
looks
Cottonwood.
great, yeah.
Yeah. So we did that,
Yeah.
night in Cottonwood or weekend in Cottonwood,
Absolutely.
and that looks like
It
a really
is.
cool spot.
For sure.
What is going? How? Because that's pretty new, right? That's a
Yeah.
pretty new kind of, I won't say recovery, but explosion there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah?
I mean, the last 20 years, whenever my dad put Nick's down there was nothing there.
Okay.
As far as it goes, there was.
How long's Nick's been there?
Nick's been there, I think I was 2 whenever Nick's opened. So that would probably make it 20 years at this point.
Okay.
And I think, probably 20 years old.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
Nick's is what, my dad's like, where do you go for date night in Cottonwood?
Yeah.
For all these people here, working at the cement plant or working around, like, where do you go for date night?
Yeah.
And that's why that happened at that, at that place. That was like, all right, let's go get steak and lobster tail.
Yeah.
Or where do you go on an anniversary night or a birthday or this? He's like, you come here.
Yeah.
Is it sketchy? Whenever he first opened, he was like, it was a different time.
Really?
It was not. Yeah. You locked your car. You parked it on the main road. No
Yeah.
parking alleys, and that was it. And now it's become like, okay, there's Airbnbs down there.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of Tesla parking. I'm like, okay, Old Town's become a thing.
Yeah.
It's hit hard.
Yeah.
It really has made a full turnaround, but it started there.
Yeah.
It started with Nick's bringing those people, and then all of a sudden, like, we have a wine scene here.
Yeah.
A winery or two opened, and then we said, let's open up another restaurant.
Yeah.
In 2005, Tavern came along, and my dad's like, now this is what we need as far as it goes for down here for your every night meal. You come here and get meatloaf. You come here and get a lavash. You come here and get a quesadilla.
Yeah.
You just come here. You come to the tavern for your food. He's like, that's where you come. You don't go to that place because they just have this or just have that. He's like, that he really started off a fusion place.
Yeah.
If you have lavash and quesadilla on a menu, you have 2 whole different topics there.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
and that's how that happened. And, it really took off. And then crema, and then, obviously bocce was before crema, but bocce was the Italian, pizzeria. And then we went to crema, and like, that's what he said. He's like, you need somewhere for brunch.
Yeah.
And really, it was just, no one was really opening early enough to kind of keep consistent hours for the hotel. So
Okay.
he's like, let's do it. He's like, let's open up crema. Let's do a brunch place. You go there, you can get 5, like he gives coupons for you. He gives all these, eat and stay, all these like coupons. So you go, he wants you to eat in all the restaurants. Make it a goal to eat at each one, come to
Yeah.
all of them, be like, hey, I ate there.
Yeah.
At the end of it, you're telling Gregory at the front desk, like, I ate here, I ate there, I ate there, I went there, I almost hit all of them,
Yeah.
And that's the goal. That's why he gives
like
you
that.
the gift cards and all the stuff to go in and be like, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is a great approach.
it is.
Yeah. And that's all your dad's
It is.
kind of
My mom-
brainchild?
Exactly.
I mean, with the help, obviously with the help
of the whole crew.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
between like my mom and dad and everything, they came up with this idea of like, they're like, you know what? When you check in the hotel, like their favorite thing to do is you get drinks. So my dad says, you know what? I hand you a drink coupon.
Yeah.
He's like, go get 2 free drinks. Enjoy. And then after that, he's like, you know what you do? You eat. You eat dinner. You want to get there. You don't really want to worry about what's going on. You're like, I want to go eat dinner.
Yeah.
So he gives you a $50 gift card at the hotel, with these packages. And he's like, I want to keep you in the restaurants too.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go up the street. I want you to keep you right here and let's eat. Let's
Yeah.
enjoy. And then the next morning, he's like, here's your voucher for crema.
Yeah.
Now you got,
Dang.
drunk and hungover. Let's go to crema.
Right.
Get your $5, your free muffin or coffee or get $5 off breakfast. You
Yeah.
pick. So it really has become a thing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is brilliant, right? Because to me, it just made a few things make sense, right? Because I think sometimes when you have a discount and you could devalue your
Right.
brand, right?
Absolutely.
But I think that's only if your brand doesn't follow through to not only just meet the value that
Right.
was given, but exceed it.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you guys did that and then people ate and they're like, oh shit, man.
Yeah.
But they eat it like, dang,
this
like
is
I got
good.
no, and then it's
Yep.
a destination.
It
It's
is.
like, hey, remember that place we went to? We didn't have to
We're
stay.
going again.
Yeah, we didn't have to go anywhere. We went to this place and that place, and
Yep.
that's brilliant.
And it's true too. Most of
Yeah.
our hotel guests book right away. They're coming out. Hey, how's your stay? No. Let's book again. Like we're coming back next month.
It's a dental checkup or something.
It is. That's what they're like. They're like, we
Yeah.
can eat, drink, get messed up, and okay, this is fun. I'm in
And recover.
have a fun time.
Yeah.
And the next morning we can have brunch and we get to hang out. We don't have to check out till 11. We just have a good time. It's all in walking distance. There's no driving cars or anything. Once you're in Old Town, you're in walking distance.
Yeah.
Everything is literally within 1,000 to 1,500 feet. You know what I mean? Apart.
For sure.
Nothing hard.
Now, do things, because I remember with Sedona, my dad loves Sedona when he comes
Absolutely.
out, but he's like, man, things are closed at like 8 o'clock. Everything closes early. Is there a problem in Old Town Cottonwood with that? Or
It kind of.
Yeah,
It really
okay.
is. You know, it'd be cooler if like some of the stores and stuff have stayed open till like 12 o'clock. That'd be a lot of fun. All the restaurants and everything were closed at about 10, but there
Okay.
is a bunch of bars down there now, you know, that have reopened and kind of,
Okay.
so it's like 10, 12 o'clock, or, you know, Old Town, like 8 o'clock done.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You know, we
Sure.
we have Bocce down there. We have Strada. Strada is the newest one that he just opened next to
Okay.
Bocce. It's an add-on.
Yeah.
That one, you know, stays open till 10 too. So it's like the outdoor bar area.
Yeah.
There's a bar next to it, the state bar that stays open. So there's a night scene
10
down
is
there.
reasonable for me. I'll take
is.
10 o'clock,
Yeah.
right? 8 or 9 o'clock, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
man, I just wanted one more drink or something.
Yeah, I just want a nightcap,
Yeah.
like one last one.
Yeah, a responsible nightcap at 10 o'clock. Come
100%.
on, right? Like, give
Absolutely.
me some credit here. Yeah.
Yeah, a responsible one, not 2 in the morning one.
exactly.
You don't want to forget it.
Well, hey, let's take a little break here,
no problem.
then we'll wrap this thing up. But, dude, fantastic drink. This was
Oh, yeah.
the Love Potion Margarita. Man, fantastic. And what is the the tequila you guys
The
use?
tequila in there. So I believe for this one, he's using a bunch of mi campo, and
Yes.
then he uses another
Yes.
one. It's a little bit more expensive, and he cooks it off with the hibiscus. And he just
Okay.
does it to like 150, lets it simmer for a few minutes,
Yeah.
and then takes it right off, just to infuse that flavor.
Yeah.
And that's really, and then all the margaritas, it just seems to go up by tequila. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll throw 1942 in a margarita if you want. We
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. You know what I mean? We'll make it with whatever you want, but
Yeah.
it seems to go up from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this just lime with the salt? Or?
So we do like a lime rim, and at that point we do like all sorts of different spots. Like we'll do like a little bit of guajillo, we'll do a little bit of ancho, we'll do a little bit of black salt, we'll do a little bit of lime salt, and we'll just mix all that together.
Okay.
The other one that we used on the hibiscus rim that you had was that black rock salt that I get in, and then we do crushed up hibiscus.
Yeah.
A little bit of it's one of the flowers. I'm trying to think of what it is, but it's a flower, and we crush all that up and put it in the muzzle, so you're actually getting like what's in that drink,
Yeah.
but in the more raw sense of it.
Okay. Okay.
You know, so it's real good.
Yeah, man, these
Yeah.
are fantastic. I know why you said have a margarita.
They go down smooth.
But you also have, I mean, there's quite a range on here.
There is all over the place.
Yeah. Once again, there was something that Tony, which
Oh, Joe.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
Joe was talking about the Southwest Sangria. He was really, because I told him I really like the flavors of the Southwest. He's like, dude, the Southwest Sangria
Yeah.
is legit.
Yeah, he's passionate about it. No, he really is.
Yeah.
Like it's straight up making it. Like that's a must drink. And he really started out of nowhere. And it's really kind of like a Southwest like sangria because it's nothing that should be in a sangria, but it comes together and it's like in a wine glass. And you're like, this is damn good. Like I would drink this
Yeah.
like punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it that's different, right? So for me, I know a good sangria when I have it, or at least what
Right.
I like, but I don't know what that means,
Right.
like what goes into it. So what differentiate yours?
So like his is he goes to more of that spicy add in your I can't remember, we had to use up our vegetable vodka once.
Okay.
We had a manager prior to make this vegetable vodka and it just wasn't like quite the right recipe, so we're like let's use it up.
Yeah.
And so we used it up and Joe's like, you know what, if we take this spicy vodka and we add some cilantro to it, some lime, a little agave, you know, kind of mix it together, add some jalapenos, and we kind of make a cool rim,
Yeah.
we can make a pretty damn good, it's a different sangria.
Sure.
But it's still, you know, he's like, it could come together and be like a sangria.
Yeah.
And that's really, it differs because it's not wine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not putting
Yeah.
wine. And that's kind of like with your wine sangria, you have your berries, you know, usually have your Grand Marnier or like your, I can't even think of like the apple pucker or whatever with like the
Sure.
berries. And you mix it all together,
Yeah.
a little bit of your whiskey and stuff, and you mix that together, put it with your wine, your Prosecco, add your ice, and you're like, oh, sweet, we got ourselves
Yeah.
a nice Prosecco, you know? But
Right.
here we're like, well, let's just switch that and put vodka in and let's make a fun one, you know? Yeah. Like, it's a good one. It really is. Like, you'll have to have it because it's super smooth. And he's very, very proud of it. It was a drink that kind of came together, but it came together well.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm just trying to like narrow it down
Yeah.
of like the ones I don't want, but
Yeah. No, absolutely.
well, so Your training. We were talking in between, and you said you'd just seen an episode that we put out the Rochelle episode. I know we did a feature on her.
I believe it dropped. I saw.
It did. Yes. Okay. Because we're sometimes we're so far ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, where are we with it? But yes, you saw that, and you know her.
I saw that. I do know Rochelle. I do know her. I do know Dave though. Dave Bowman a lot more. Part of the Matt Carter and the Zinc Bistro crew, and now he actually has his own restaurant, Aftermath.
Yeah.
Down there, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Yes.
That's Aftermath. He's part owners of that with Charles, and I actually met all those guys while working at Zinc Bistro.
Yeah.
And Dave really took me underneath his wing. When I told him, I was like, just teach me the book, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't really worked this food. I've learned Italian food. I've learned Mexican food. I haven't really worked French style food.
Yeah.
Just teach me the way. And Dave took me to competitions. He took me to like our backyard barbecues. He took me to parties that he was having at his house. Like he really took me under his wing. Like, hey, let's come do this thing. You know what I mean? Let me teach you what I know. And he really, from getting me a book for the French Laundry to just teaching me about basic, sharp knife, clean station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Always have your mind on point. He was the first, he was the first one to really give me like that chef, like real deal. Like, because culinary school gets you set up and they're like, hey man, you're going to be a fucking chef. You're going to be amazing. Like you're going to be, and everyone in culinary school was like, I'm going to be a chef. I'm going to go apply for exec position. I'm like, you guys are a bunch of dumbasses. I was like, you guys should apply for dishwasher, prep cook, and work your way up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whenever I went to Zinc Bistro, I just said, I'll cook.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys need, just put me on a station. Like I'll cook.
For sure.
And that's kind of how it started. Like, you got a little bit of experience, and I didn't want to say about any of these restaurants or because I've been cooking since I was, yay. But I was like, I'm like, I can cook. So they kind of, Dave threw me on saute station and said, learn it.
Yeah.
And it was like this, and it really was that real chef experience, And from Dave yelling at me to sharing great stories to having lots of fun, it really was great. And it wasn't, at the end of the day, looking back on yelling, was it yelling to, because being an asshole is yelling just be like, I know you can be better.
Sure.
It really was. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it was all hugs and having fun and everything's great. But, in the time of cooking, it's like, you fucking dumbass. This needs to be perfect.
If you're in the right situation with the right people, you want them
100%.
to, right? You're like, why wouldn't you? Like, dude, I saw you jacked up that sauce. Like, you could have just did this.
You could just
why
did this.
Why did you say that? Dude, come on, like that's
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, don't if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. That was the phrase. There was a reason the phrase was made, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So you go through and you're training with those guys, and how does that? So sounds like it gave you more organization and more of like just because otherwise, like, I mean, that's art, right? Art is like just kind of. Every artist wants to be just like, my goal was to be just so good at content creation that like it was, took off and I didn't have to do anything but
absolutely.
That.
But content creation,
that's not the reality, right? Right? Everybody wants to do it. You have to work through it. You got to pay your dues for sure.
Absolutely.
So as you're going through all of this, what were some of the things that you really enjoyed, right? What were things that maybe you brought now to the family businesses?
Yeah. Things I really enjoyed was just like the flavors. You know what I mean? Dave was bringing in certain things like all the time. And then I worked with another guy who actually is the head chef of a place like Modern Oyster and Chop House down in Phoenix, Mike.
Okay.
Chef Mike. And I worked with him too. And from him being an unbelievable butcher and from Dave just coming up with these spices and these creations out of nowhere, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like they just, down there in Phoenix, I was with people that just loved cooking.
Sure.
I really was. And I had to bring that passion to all of our kitchens. Like, hey, this isn't just our clock in, clock out job. Let's do something great.
Yeah.
And those guys really taught me a lot about, like, hey, like, it's going to be, let's turn it up. Like, you have the idea, let's make it even better. You want to do this, let's make it this. You know what I mean? Instead of like, let's clock in, let's clock out, clean up, go home, boys. You know what I mean? It's just another night.
For sure.
Those guys made me love cooking. Those guys made me excited about going to buy chef knives and sharpening knives and just making sure like I had the unbelievable produce and like, oh, what's the new meat this week? And they really made me excited. You know what I mean? And they changed the way I looked at cooking in a whole new sense. Culinary school is okay, but whenever you got off and got to go work at Zinc Bistro, and got to work with Dave and got to work with like his whole crew, like Chef Will that works with them now, and a couple of these other guys that have taught me a lot, And I worked with another guy who's actually the head chef at Zinc Bistro now, Aaron, and it was just like one guy after another, just bring me out their wing, be like, let me teach you, let me teach you, let me show you. Yeah. And it was just like one other guy would show me all their experience, instead of holding it in, being like, I have my experience, get the hell out of my way.
That's my advantage.
Yeah, that's my advantage. Don't try stealing my job or
Yeah.
anything. I have my experience, get out of my way. Instead of they're like, let me show you what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it really, I have most of the respect for those guys because they truly did respect me in every way, and they just trained me to the new level.
Yeah.
And we're still friends to this day. They both come up here to see me. We both hung out. We still talk. It's great.
Yeah. That's
It really
awesome,
is.
man. That's awesome. They probably saw something in you
Yeah.
as well to like, all right, this dude's in it for
Yeah.
in it, right?
Yeah,
You're not just like,
absolutely.
oh, this looks kind of cool until
Yeah, it
the work
looks kinda
starts.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
You're ready to work. You saw what I mean. You grew up
100%.
seeing what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, there's no that. Once again, it's that you know,
Yeah.
if you own a restaurant and I just want to have enough money that I can just have my name on it, eat there when I want, take my buddies there. That doesn't
It's
exist.
bullshit.
Like, it
No,
does-
I'm in
yeah.
the back kitchen
Yeah.
helping the dishwasher. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Get it done. If I see we're
Yeah.
short staffed, I'm like, hey guys, you have a great lunch. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna help him out.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the way it's done. It
And
really
not
is.
like all grumpy about
yeah,
like,
like,
you know, might be
this
pissed
sucks.
a little bit. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I hate this job.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know, I love that. I love
Absolutely.
that. I grew up, my grandmother owned a restaurant until I was probably like 10 or 12.
Right.
And then she sold it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough industry.
It's
It
a
is
tough industry,
all
man.
to create like this ideally seamless,
Yeah.
almost, you know, euphoric experience
Right.
for the people coming in,
It
right?
is.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, I want this, and you're going to make it exactly how I want it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be beautifully presented, and you're going to treat me wonderfully.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the kitchen, chaos
Yeah.
ensues.
Absolutely. It's a fight going on
yeah,
back there.
yeah. Two contrasting
Absolutely.
worlds, but I like it back there better,
Yeah.
man. That's my
It is.
world. I mean, I eat like that's my
Yeah.
specialty, but no, I love what you guys are doing. Like I said, Luke has been a fan of you guys since he's met you, and or you cooked for him,
Yeah.
and I think and different members
Absolutely,
of the families
yep.
have met him. But yeah, thanks for having me up, man.
of
Oh,
course.
you know what? Let's wrap up the Phoenix. So you go to Phoenix and you train with some Phoenix chefs.
Yeah.
And you know you work under their wing. They mentor you. When does it come to like, okay, time to come back home?
You know, coming back home really came down to like I was kind of homesick. I really loved being up here. I didn't really love Phoenix. You know, I loved what I was
How
learning.
long ago was this?
This was probably 2 years now.
Okay, so this is like 2020.
It was, yep.
Like during, like at the start of the pandemic.
2020, 2019, so before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of came back, and I loved it. I loved being down there and learning what I could learn.
Sure.
But at the same time, I was homesick. My girl was up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had my woman up here, and if not, I think if I wasn't homesick and my girl wasn't up here, I think I would have stayed down there.
Okay.
I think I would have worked with them for longer. I think I would have
Yeah.
really learned more about what was going on.
Sure.
You know, because I had side hustles. I could make my money, but really what happened is like working for these guys was just learning. Every day you'd go in, it was free education. You know what I mean? You get paid to go and do these amazing things and learn
Yeah.
what you learn.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
With some cool people, man. Like I was talking to I don't know if you've ever met Michael from Mother Road, Michael Marquis, owner, founder, really cool
Yeah.
guy. But I was saying like you guys are the rock stars these days, right? Like the rock stars kind of died. Like there's not
Hey.
really rock stars anymore
No.
per se, but like chefs and brewers, like you guys have become the rock stars.
It really
you know,
has.
the draw.
It's a dying industry.
Yeah.
No one wants to be in it anymore. You know, kids want to become, you know, YouTubers, or they want to, you know, kind of follow and be like, what's the easiest job I can do to make
For
money?
sure.
Instead of being like, this is art.
Yeah.
This is creativity. I was always artistic. So I'd always want to be like, what can I do? And then all of a sudden I started cooking. And my mom's like, you can make a plate as beautiful as you want to make it. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like, my cooking started to become better, more beautiful. I started getting more and more into it.
Yeah.
And that's really, it's art. You know what I mean? At the end of the
Sure.
day, and these people that come in and just think like, you know, it's a 9 to 5, we'll get it done. I'm like, then you're not going to cook in a kitchen with me.
Yeah.
It's how it's going to come. If you're not
Yeah.
going to become and just do consistent, beautiful food and really have the passion and show the passion, you're not in the same kitchen as me. Period.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Has it been a trouble or has it been a
Yeah.
struggle?
Yeah. You know, always hiring people, but I have an amazing crew. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? This crew
sure.
behind me, the Clinkscale is not just me, it's
Yeah.
the crew behind me. It really is. I have the most talented line that I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow,
And
nice.
with these cooks and these guys and how it works together, it's like a harmony.
Yeah.
When everyone's going at the right pace and everyone's flying, it's amazing to see.
Yeah.
Truly is.
So this is mainly your spot. Like this is
Yeah,
okay,
100%. You know,
okay.
my dad, whenever we opened this, he was like, hey, he's like, this one's yours, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, eventually, you know, we'll talk about ownership and stuff later, but he's like, this menu's yours, you know, this. And then me and my mom kind of came together and like, let's do some fun things. That was the first time I ever got to collab with her on a menu in my life.
Yeah.
You know, it was a hard, rough period, but when it came together, it came together.
Sure.
And
Wow. should be
It
rough,
did.
right? It should be a little bit.
It should be rough.
battle.
It's trial and error, and it's trying. And what we did and why the food was so good here is we just tried and tasted. It did months of, what could be this? What's the flavor of this? And what could we do to add to this? And, I've heard this is great. You know what I mean? And it came together.
Yeah.
It really did.
Well, I just got a new menu. One of your folks here dropped off a new menu.
Yeah.
So we're going from brunch to now.
Brunch to dinner.
So now what do we got? Anything different here that you'd like to point out?
The one thing that I think I've been known for lately is chicken Milanese. You know what I mean?
What is
that? We basically take like this. We do this Redbird chicken, right? We get the Redbird chicken. We put pesto on it. We put lemon on it, garlic, herbs, everything, and marinate it. So we do like a 12-hour marinate. The next day we pound it out completely flat to where it's almost like a centimeter, maybe a centimeter and a half thin.
Yeah.
And then we're just putting in a panko breading with like Italian seasoning, red chili flakes, Parmesan, throwing in the rosemary, everything in there, and doing this nice, beautiful crust. And then putting that nice arugula salad on top. Just lemon, our house vinaigrette, some nice little chili flakes, some cracked pepper, and then you throw in just your Parmesan Asiago right on top, and it's just this salad, and it's the most delicate dish. Yeah,
I think you just sold somebody back here. He heard you talking about it. He's like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Should have got that. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something you pointed out, this is, so I marinate my chicken, and then I pound it, and then I marinate it.
Right.
You do the other way?
I do the opposite. Because we use chicken for everything here, every protein in this building's marinated.
Yeah.
The beautiful in marination is really infusing flavor.
Yeah.
So you taste steak and you're like, oh, cool, that's salt and pepper, that's great.
Yeah.
Or you take soy sauce, sriracha, you throw in your mom's cookbook to add it. You're like, what beautiful flavors? Can I put dill pickle seasoning on salmon? Yes, I can. And you marinate it all down, and then you're like, now let's cook it.
Dude, you are my kind of chef. My wife would be right now. She's like, oh my God, that's you.
Yeah.
Like, I love to, like, people are, it's a great cut of meat. Like, yeah. Well,
let's make it better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So
Let's
for
add
somebody
everything.
to marinate a meat, like a lot of people are like, oh, why would you do that? I'm like, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice. So, but no, what I'm saying was I wasn't challenging you at all. All I'm saying is I'm going to now change my way to I will marinate and then pound it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that looks fantastic. And then you got a porterhouse as well, 22 ounce.
22-ounce porterhouse. And all those come from Gold Canyon. We have a dry age room at the Gold Canyon factory. So they cut them for us, dry age them for us.
Where's that at?
That's over there in Utah.
Okay.
I believe that. And they might have one more shop. I heard that they have another place, but it's over in Utah. And they take all of the meat, and like the porterhouse dry aged for 25 days, the fillets dry aged for 45 days.
Okay.
And like those are my two favorite cuts as far as it goes. Like whenever I'm selling them, that's my two favorite cuts. I was gonna do like a flat iron. But I'm like, let's just keep it basic. Let's keep it to the fillet and the porterhouse. Those are my favorite ones.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and that helps too, right? Because I don't know, when you have a menu that is
so big, you don't even know what to get.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all right, here's
100%.
17 steaks, here's 14 burgers. Like, dang, man, like, give me two options for burgers,
Absolutely.
right? Like, make one of them fun, yeah.
Yeah.
But what's that one
100%.
keeps sticking out too? The double stack.
Yeah. Double cheeseburger. Straight up. We do the red chili glazed bacon. But same deal. Gold Canyon for those burger patties. So we get that prime Angus golden like real deal burger patties. They're about 4.5 ounces a piece, and they stack on top of each other. We do this thick cut American cheese. This American Oasis American cheese that we get in. And then we just do the slab of bacon. You get the brioche bun. Like, it all comes together. Homemade burger sauce. It comes really nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, so what are the I guess the favorites? Because I would assume you guys have regulars, right?
We do.
Yeah. What are some of the regulars' favorites?
Brunch, you go with pancakes. You probably have pancakes, and then you have like your French omelet, and then you have like your French toast. The brioche French toast is unbelievable. People love it. The sweet ricotta, the whole deal. You go in the appetizers, the mussels have become a real deal thing.
Yeah.
The guacamole and the elote, people just absolutely love.
Ooh, nice.
And then lunch, turkey French dip seems to be just a banger. Same deal with the bacon cheeseburger, which I do have honey hamburger, and they're like, oh, I fucking love this burger. They're like, I'll eat this, and I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And then at night, the filet and the chicken Milanese have just taken off. When I look at sales, I look at Rikers, the filet and chicken Milanese, it's funny because the saute guy and the grill guy are like, what the hell? It's on every ticket.
Yeah.
It's a filet or it's a chicken Milanese on every ticket. The orchetta pasta underneath it, you have your buttery herbed out pasta, you have your chicken, you have, it all comes together pretty nice. And then you have the compound butter, you know what I mean? We have like literally 16 different spices and herbs in the compound butter, all with our garlic, salt, pepper, shallots. We have a really cool like ancho seasoning we put in there. So it's like spicy but sweet sweet, and then we put a little bit, tiny bit of sugar in there, just to kind of get the, you know what I mean, to really get that crust on the steak.
Sure.
And it comes together, and then we do, you know, the super thin like truffle fritz, and then we have like your nice like palm puree. You know what I mean? It all just depends. Or like, you know, or we have grits with it. Like people kind of mix and match, you know. But those are really fan favorites right there.
Dude, as I'm looking through this, I'm like, I mean, how do you even narrow it down?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Cauliflower steak burger too.
Yeah,
What is
people
that?
love it.
Yeah.
You know, if I have someone that's vegan or if someone's vegetarian, they absolutely love it. We just take these beautiful cauliflower, we blanch it in the water, we do an herb goat cheese on top, then we do our brioche bun. You take your avocado, your salt, pepper, olive oil, you add in your lettuce, tomatoes. We do a pickled onion in-house, and we add that all on it, and it comes together. It's like a crispy, flavorful, kind of cheesy crunch, you know, and it really has a bite. It's nice. Yeah.
Excellent, man. Nice work.
Yeah,
nice work
you.
with all of this.
Yeah,
now, I mean,
thank you
I
very
haven't
much.
eaten it yet, so
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but
For sure.
no.
Yeah.
No, everything is fantastic. You've got some desserts on there too.
Yeah.
Beer, you got some Arizona beers. You can even do
We do
a flight.
all local beers. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do the beer flight. We're big on use what we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can put Coors Light on tab, but what's the point of that?
For
You know,
sure.
everyone else here, it's the big local attitude. You know, scratch our back, we'll scratch yours.
For sure. We've got, what have we got? Oak Creek, that brewery, historic, and a rotating seasonal local. So
Yeah, whatever we can
Nice.
find. And we've had anywhere from a cider. We have had your ambers, your different IPAs. We've just gone down the road, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, it all just depends on what we are in the mood for, you know.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, nice work, man.
Thank you.
Nice work. Yeah, I am hungry. The margaritas are fantastic. But yeah, thank you so much. Where can everybody find? Clinkscale. What's the website?
We have the website. So if you look up www.clinkscale.com, that is a thing. But if you look up the Haunted Group, it'll have every single restaurant and hotel on there, and all information about every single one, pictures, gallery, menus, all that. It's all listed.
The Haunted Group.
HauntedGroup.com.
Okay,
Yep.
right. And we heard stories about your dad, giving out vouchers for this place and
Absolutely.
that.
There's
so-
all sorts. You call the hotel, ask what getaways we have. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We have all sorts of fun, kayaking packages.
Oh,
I
nice.
think he was working on horseback riding, hot air balloon rides.
So this is kind of all bringing
all of it
this
together.
all
Bring it all in together.
Dang, man, I like that.
Absolutely.
It keeps
Just come
getting
have
better
some
and
fun.
better. Yeah,
100%.
excellent. All right, man. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, thank you.